Yo, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy, Derek Brown. I am back with another video, and today, man, look, we are reacting to this NBA debates. Would Carmelo Anthony, we're talking about Carmelo Anthony when they say Melo, leads the NBA today in scoring. Let's get straight to the video. Oh, well, pre-predictions, I do not think Carmelo Anthony will lead the league today in scoring. Carmelo Anthony was a great basketball player, and he was a phenomenal offensive player. He had a crazy right jab, crazy pull-up, but there are guys in this league that can put the ball in the basket at a more efficient level, in my personal opinion, that shoots a little bit better than Carmelo Anthony did in his prime. Now, I do understand that this is a different era, and maybe Carmelo Anthony would have thrived in this era, but you got guys like Luka, SGA, Wemby, Joker. You got guys who could really put the ball in the basket. Donovan Mitchell. In today's era, we have three guys who drop a 70 ball. Joel Embiid, Damian Lillard, Luka. Okay, even Devin Booker, if that really still counts as today's era, because he did it a couple years back. I want to say his second year in the league. So technically 4. Melo ain't dropped 70. He did get close though. So let's get straight to the video.
A prime Carmelo Anthony would lead the league in scoring if he played in today's game.
We could talk about how polished of a scorer he is, like regardless if he's at his peak or whatever, but efficiency still matters in this day and age. And if you dropped Carmelo Anthony into today's game, I'm not sure that he would be more efficient as a scorer than he would be 10, 15 years ago.
I get what you're saying, but I think that's a little oversimplified. Luka Doncic is leading the league in scoring, and I wouldn't say he's the most efficient player. He's not very efficient by today's standards. What I do know about today's NBA is in today's NBA, they're averaging 117 points per game, which is the highest since the 1960s when Wilt Chamberlain was averaging 50 points a game. Elgin Baylor was averaging 38 points per game.
Okay.
Oscar Robertson was averaging a 30-point triple-double.
Okay.
In 2007, when Carmelo Anthony had his highest scoring season, he was averaging 29 points per game.
Right.
Teams were averaging 98 points per game, okay? In 2013 even, which doesn't seem all that long ago, when he was with the Knicks, he also was averaging close to 29 points per game. They were all
2013 was 13 years ago. It was long, brother.
25
averaging.
shots.
They were not 25 shots.
If
Look
you
it
look
up.
in
I
the
know that's
playoffs in some years,
objectively
like-
not true. But he was averaging 98 points per game that season as well. Again, 20 more points per game, okay?
Right.
So, Melo, all you want to say about inefficiency, right now they're shooting 37 three-point attempts per game in today's NBA. In 2013, they were shooting 20, okay? It's nearly doubled.
But also in today's NBA, teams will also prioritize better shooters than Carmelo Anthony, not a guy that's shooting 32% from 3.
Listen,
that's just
I
not
love
going to cut it
Luka.
in today's game.
Luka's not that efficient of a three-point shooter. On
Okay,
top
but
of
he's
that,
more efficient than Carmelo Anthony is.
even James Harden was shooting 13 three-pointers a game, shooting around 34% from three-point range.
James Harden was a walking 40 ball. James Harden was putting up triple doubles with 40 points. If James Harden really wanted to, he could stop passing that rock. Just saying.
Okay.
Right.
And I want to remind you that when Melo was leading the league in scoring in 2013, when he was averaging about 29 points per game, he was shooting 6.2 three-point attempts per game, which was 5th in the entire league. You know who he was tied with?
Who was
James
that?
Harden. A few years later, when three-point shots inflated, James Harden was shooting 13. Melo's shooting at least 10 a game if he plays in this modern league. You want to take those 30 points per game with 20 more points per game per team to be had, and all those three-point shots, oh yeah, he could lead the league. I know Luka's averaging 35 points per game right now, but he started the season averaging 40. Now LeBron's getting involved. Now, you know...
Okay, so let me stop him right here. Let's backtrack one more. Let him get that thought off one more time.
But he started the season averaging 40.
Exactly. Okay, so a 5-point dip is not bad, especially when you're playing with LeBron James and AR-15. When AR was balling. Okay, now AR, he did miss a lot of time, and in that stretch, even Luka missed some time. Bron missed some time. All them boys were missing time. So when they all come back, of course the shots ain't gonna be as efficient, but Luka is still leading the league, and we can fact check that. It's still Luka, and he averaged 32.8 even with LeBron being back, even with AR-15 being back, I don't know, man. Argument looking kind of flawed, bro. Yeah, them boys came back, and yeah, the points may have dropped a little bit, but he's still number one.
LeBron's getting involved now. Austin Reeves is asserting himself, so that scoring is declining. I don't think that's the ultimate number.
Right.
SGA's at 32. I think that's more what's going to be. Melo could easily average 33.
The difference between Shea and a guy like Melo is Shea is one of the most efficient players that we've ever seen in the history of ever. Like a shooting guard that's shooting 54, 55% from the field. It's completely unheard of. And Melo as a 6'8", 6'9" forward shooting 43% from the field, like that just still won't cut in today's game, even with the increase in attempts, increase in whatever. That efficiency, if it still remains in the same spot, it really won't make that much of a difference in the grand scheme of things. If he's still shooting 31% on 8.5, 9 attempts a game, even if he is playing in this modern game, teams are going to prioritize better shooters in that aspect. If you have an AJ Green on your team, you're going to want him shooting 6 or 7 threes a game, and maybe you'll move away from the Carmelo Anthonys of the world.
Last thing I'll say on that is that although I get your point, this isn't an argument about efficiency. Melo's going to get his shots. And I also said a prime Carmelo Anthony, who when he was averaging about 29 points per game, was shooting about 47% from the field. When you look around at some of the best players in the league, that's not that bad.
Well, also, unless Carmelo Anthony's on the Sacramento Kings, he's not going to get those shot attempts necessary to average 32 points a game or whatever.
Was Carmelo Anthony on a good team when he went to the Western Conference Finals and challenged Kobe to 6 games, nearly making it to the finals? That was the best season that they had ever had.
That was the best season he's had. They've never had a season like that
until Nikola
ever
Jokic happened.
So I want to get back to what he was talking about over there about.
Okay, hold on. Before bro talks, I was gonna say, Carmelo Anthony could. I do think he can average 30, but I don't think he would beat out these guys of today. Like, you got guys doing side step threes and getting and 1 threes, getting to the free throw line at will. Carmelo Anthony was never a guy to put it on the ground. He got a 1-step hezzy pull. You know what I'm saying? He may body you to the brack. You know what I'm saying? But some of these guys can score the ball in so many different ways, man. So it's just hard to beat guys like Luka and SGA. It really is. But I do think Carmelo would be a top 5 scorer.
That most systems are not going to be built around one player anymore. They're just really not. It's a team-focused game now. It's focused on three-point shooters, those wing guys that can hit 3 and D shots. Melo's game in 09 wouldn't translate the same today. I get it. I get your point about Melo shooting threes. Maybe he hit those threes. Maybe he would. But he was more of a guy that could hit a high post jump shot. Players don't play like that anymore. Melo would have to adjust to today's game, and I don't think he has that capability in him to be able to adjust like that.
Melo was the type of player to catch the ball on the block, turn around, do a jab step, pull around your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, Melo wasn't even really just all the time he taking a whole bunch of 3-pointers, man. He really killed it in the mid-range.
I'm wrong. Maybe you could argue that, but his best year that you're talking about in 09 was a totally different NBA. This is when guys like Kobe were hitting those high posts, those fadeaway shots. Forwards and even guards don't do that anymore. Like, there's a few, like Luka and Shea, but those are the pinnacle of guards and forwards in that aspect. I don't think Melo can do that. I don't think there's a system built for Melo where he can do his way that any other coach would allow. I know we're in the player empowerment era, but you got to be able to adjust to your teammates. And there's no team league, even maybe not even the Kings, that would let Melo do all that.
Listen, I understand the game of basketball has changed a lot, but I think a lot of those points are really overstated and exaggerated. And the reason being is because, like, we have so many guys who are great today who've been playing in the NBA for a couple decades, and they were good back then and they're good now. Steph Curry was good back then and he's good now. LeBron James was good back then, he was good now. If Melo was playing in this game, he'd still be good. Great, not greatest, yeah, for sure. But different argument there for sure. But Carmelo Anthony, another reason I disagree with that is because even on Team USA, he changed his game for Team USA, won 3 gold medals with them, and was one of the most valuable players on the team, arguably the most valuable player on the team, because he played off ball, he was able to shoot 3-point shots, and he was no longer that ISO guy. Kobe Bryant said in 2011 that Carmelo Anthony was by far, that's verbatim, by far the most difficult player to guard in the NBA because he was a 3-level scorer. He had all the skills. He could go left, he could go right, he could shoot the midi, he could attack the basket. He had everything. So you're trying to tell me that a guy like that who has Kobe Bryant's blessing wouldn't tear it up in today's freed up open space NBA?
If Melo adjusted to his teammates in the Olympics, why didn't he do that in the NBA? He would have won a championship if he adjusted. The greats adjust.
Fact.
Wade even. His contemporaries,
talking,
Wade,
that boy talking.
LeBron, these guys adjusted to their teammates. Melo didn't do that. He played his way, and that was it. And you could find the Olympics, different thing. Like, that's fine. He's
100%.
one of the greatest Olympic basketball players ever. I'm totally fine with that. I don't care about that. It means nothing to me. The NBA, it's a different. The NBA is a different ballgame, though. He couldn't adjust to allow Jeremy Lin to succeed. He couldn't adjust to allow Allen Iverson to do his thing when he was on the Nuggets. Maybe he's great, and maybe he's one of the great scorers ever. But one of the best scorer now, based on the talent we have, based on the defense, how defensive schemes have improved over time, I just don't see it.
The problem is, a lot of your arguments, they are hater arguments, and they do seem very emotionally fueled, because what you're saying is you don't think he'd be one of the best scorers. You don't think he'd be one of the most efficient scorers. That's not the argument. He'd lead the league in scoring because he is a shooter. He's similar to Kobe in that way, where he's going to get his shots up, and he's going to assert himself.
Well, you're going based off what Kobe has to say, so I don't know. Well, that's a different argument, but I'll let somebody else tag in.
You're right. I should take your opinion over the Mamba. My bad.
Yeah, honestly.
All right, I got to start with this Kobe thing. Kobe said that about everybody. Kobe said Tracy McGrady was the hardest guy he had to guard.
Great player.
Kobe said Giannis was the hardest guy he ever guarded. He said Kevin Durant was the hardest guy he ever had to guard. Saying Kobe said he's the hardest guy
You
ever
mentioned guys who are in the top 25 greatest players of all time, so I don't see how
but
that's necessarily a bad
I'm
thing.
saying how it doesn't mean anything if you tell it to everybody. If I go to a bar and I tell every girl in there she's the prettiest girl at that bar, it means nothing.
Hey, he cooking though. He cooking. Hold on. I would love to see how he gonna respond. He cooking.
Kobe said it matters. When Kobe said it matters. He said it in 2011 when LeBron James was winning MVP. He said it in 2011 right after he was coming off of his 5th championship ring. He said it right after they had just been battling in the Western Conference, which was one of the all-time great solo duels that we've ever seen in this league. And anybody trying to disregard that as if 2009 Kobe on a revenge mission after losing to the Boston Celtics isn't this monstrosity to overcome. Not only that, but the numbers translate, okay? And so all you can throw at me is, oh, well, today's era is just more efficient. Today's era has better score, blah, blah, blah. Give me numbers. Give me stuff that can back that up. You can't do that.
The numbers are he wasn't leading the league in scoring at the time.
In 2013, he literally led the league in scoring for the Knicks, who you're wearing a Knicks hat and you don't even know
Yeah, and
that.
he ruined the whole season because he can't pass.
The season was ruined because Amari Stoudemire only played 29 regular season games that year because of his knee injuries.
What happened
You didn't
the
even
past
have
2
his
years when
second
he
best
had
players.
Stoudemire?
Stoudemire in 2012, another year where they made it to the NBA playoffs, he had issues off the court. They were questioning why he was so out of shape and fat, and he only averaged 18 points per game.
They were questioning the same thing about Melo, why he was so out of shape and
I
fat.
don't care if you're averaging 29 a game and leading your team to 54 wins.
But the real reason he wouldn't be able to lead the league in scoring nowadays is he was a bad three-point shooter. The reason he didn't really adjust his game for the Olympics move in
He
the
didn't really
three-point
shoot
line,
like that.
so he becomes a good three-point shooter all of a sudden.
There's no question that Melo was one of those guys who absolutely loved the long two, okay? He was one of those players
Yeah,
for sure. So he took
100%.
advantage of the Olympic game, which will be matter later on when we're talking about this. But Melo absolutely could shoot the corner three. He killed it from there. You guys are acting like he's this terrible three-point shooter. When Melo was averaging 29 points per game, he was shooting 39% from three-point range. The league average in today's game is 37%. So you got a guy who's the leading scorer shooting a high volume who's making better than the league average. How's that a negative?
One, I'm going to take a wild guess and assume that year was a huge outlier because I looked and he barely ever got above 35%. Two, it's low efficiency. And yeah, huge outlier year. 1 year, Julius Randle was shooting like 43% from three. Trust me, I remember it. I bought it at the time.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, bro, it's hard to beat out a Knicks fan. It's hard to beat out a Knicks fan. Shout out to these boys Clash, man. I love their videos, man. Y'all go mess with Clash. So look, man, leave in the comments how do y'all feel about this. How do you feel Carmelo Anthony will do in today's NBA? I do feel like he will be a top 5 scorer. I don't know about number 1 though, man. It's a lot of good guys, man. He's gonna have to beat out SGA, Yoke Dog, Sloop Dog, Giannis, Tatum, AE. It's a lot of guys that can put that ball in the basket, bro. So Jalen Brunson, I ain't gonna lie, Jalen Brunson, he be going crazy. So yeah, man, I don't know, but I do feel like Melo will be top 5 for sure, arguably top 3. But in that specific of the debate, the debater he really controlled the argument because the haters, they were going off topic a lot. They kept talking about stuff that wasn't the debate, and I love how the debater kept bringing it back in, telling them that that is not the debate. Y'all keep talking about efficiency. I was talking about this. Listen, I'm saying he will be number 1. Stop talking about how bad of a teammate he was. Stop talking about he can't pass the ball. We're not talking about passing the ball. We talking about him putting the ball in the basket. You know what I'm saying? In today's NBA, where you can get a tech for bouncing a ball too hard, Melo is going to go drop 30. So I really do like that about the debater, man. I feel like he won that argument, but I don't think Melo would have got it. I love Melo, bro, but I say top 5 at the most. But like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you like this video. Shout out to the boys over there, man. I'm going to leave the original video in below in the comments. But with all that being said, you know you're going to see me again. So like always, peace.